Hello, Leo, and welcome to your reading, and welcome to my channel, Butterfly Child Tarot, where we allow the inner child to light the way forward with the divine support, empowerment, guidance, integration, and wisdom that is brought by the parents within us, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And we do not leave not one divine opportunity for transformation on the table. That is how I show up for my life, and that is how I choose to show up for the collective within using my gifts to support. And if that speaks to your soul, if that resonates with you, click that subscribe button and that bell icon, as it does help the channel. And with that being said, take this reading as it resonates and allow your own intuition, knowings, receiving synchronicities to be the bedrock of receiving any collective reading online or anywhere. The reason for this is these readings are meant to enrich, expand, add value to what you're already receiving and what you're already in knowing of. They're not meant to confuse you. So set the intention now before the reading starts. It's very easy, in your head or out loud, that you are going to use your own intuition, and your own intuition is going to speak to you on how this reading relates to you. Okay? You're not going to try to make things fit that don't. You're not going to try to reject things that do because you're triggered by them, right? All right, so what is the wounded healer aspect, Leo? The wounded healer aspect, Chiron, is depicted in astrology as the centaur with the bow and arrow. There's so much more to the story that I'm not going to get into. But when we look at Sagittarius in astrology, it's depicted as a centaur with a bow and arrow. When we look at Sagittarius in the deck of tarot, it's depicted by the Temperance card, which is all about alchemy, which is also what Chiron is all about as well. So it's about something in your life that feels like a hurdle, a cycle, something that you can't get away from, that you feel is an insurmountable thing, or you struggled with for a really long time, that actually is waiting for you to use it, catalyze it for your benefit, for you to take it, make that water into wine, right? And there's something about that that's also, like, a lot of those that are guided to me and a lot of people that just watch readings and are on a spiritual journey, you're meant to catalyze those around you. So a lot of people around you are suffering with the same thing, right? Misery loves company in that way, in different ways. And the minute that you start to catalyze and alchemize this for yourself, you're going to see a lot of changes in the people around you. And with that being said, let's figure out what your wounded healer aspect is in your life right now. I was going to call you Loris. I don't know what kind of sign that is. Leo. I was going to say Leo and Taurus. Leo. Some of you guys have a Taurus placement. Guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of love and light. What does Leo need to hear today about their wounded healer aspect? There's a lot of, like, I just heard everything that glitters is in gold here. I'm definitely feeling like an ego thing, an ego trap. You know, the card is ego, but I'm definitely feeling more of like, you know, I'm getting like the frequency of like an influencer, right? Somebody who is really all about putting out a image of what they're living, but they're not fully being honest about what it is. There's a lot of ego involved in the sense of not wanting to be vulnerable here. There's something that's being exposed. There's also, I just heard ego death in a lot of you Leos. You guys have a beautiful power, and I heard horsepower to, you know, use for your benefit, but sometimes that can allow you to live in false paradigms for a really long time, especially if, you know, you're going through it. You know, you've been traumatized, you have a lot of things you have to work through, and nobody's judging you for that, Leo. Guides, angels, ancestors, thank you so much. Archangel Michael, please protect against any distorting energies and or intentions. It does feel here that somebody is, okay. So, yeah, the pain, it's really the pain of being exposed. There's some kind of exposure here that's happening. For some of you, it's like, you know, you've been convincing yourself that things are a certain way. Somebody comes in and they burst your bubble big time, or somebody, something, or some events comes in that bursts your bubble big time. And it just feels, you know, a lot of you guys are not going to want to hear this message right now, but I promise you it's going to turn around. It's going to feel good. Okay, so stick around. Don't abandon it. Okay, but I'm definitely seeing here that you are getting past it. We have the ego, the illusion of being trapped. Accept responsibility for your actions and make choices that support your path to happiness. Addictions to unhealthy habits. Boom. We have justice. Be impartial and objective. Stand up for what you believe. Try to see all sides of a situation. They want me to reiterate that. Try to see all sides to a situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. Justice. And we have the Knight of Air, the Knight of Swords. Decisive, focused, driven, defensive. events that move with great speed. Choose intellectual responses to challenges rather than emotional. Sudden or unexpected changes. Review your options carefully. You guys are being triggered. There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of people around you in crisis, and I just heard they have little patience for you. Okay, Leo, they have very little patience for you, and they're not going to let you get away with the same things, your charm and all these other things that you get away with in the past. And it's a point of contention. You have the potentiality of reacting with emotions and being triggered rather than like really sitting and reflecting on what this person is saying and really coming to a response. It's not a battle of wits or a battle of ego. It's really a conversation. And even if they're hurt and they're responding in a very intense way, it actually they don't understand you. I will say that, Leo. They don't understand you fully. They have a story about you, and you're gonna prove that story to be true if you are like literally like steamrolling them, not wanting them to, you're triggered by their points and what they have to say, or what is being brought up, that you don't even want to hear it. You're just like, nah, you're wrong. This and this and that. Blah blah blah. How could you? I don't know. There's a weird energy of you just being really reactive rather than reflective and responsive. And that is, the message here. They're actually going to be quite surprised, and things are going to diffuse very quickly if you are a little more humble when it comes to this interaction. And I definitely have been feeling like this power coming up in Leo, because it's like there's something about bringing that humble balance into it that allows your confidence to be really received well. Because you have this confidence that it's just unshakable. You don't have to say anything or prove it, right? You have this confidence about yourself. You can walk into a room, right? This is something that makes your sign unique to so many other signs, right? There's a reason that you are Leo. There's a reason that there's a magic to that. But that also has a dark side that a lot of Leos have been experiencing up until now. And if you're awakening, congratulations, because you have the opportunity to take that aspect and make it work for you. But the ego here has served you up until this point, and now it's time for that ego to transform. It's not an ego death, it's an ego transformation. Okay, because I'm definitely feeling the ego is the devil card, to be honest. So it's different things that you don't want to let go of, things that don't serve you anymore, ways of approaching situations, ways of dealing with relationships. And I definitely feel this defensive energy big time here. When in reality, this person just wants to come in and show you something. Whoever this is, they do care about you. They're wanting to come in and set you free. But you're over here thinking that they're going to come and take your firstborn and, sacrifice him. I don't know. Like you're thinking that the stakes are so high, and really you just need to chill. Because I'm definitely seeing here you've already made up your mind about someone here. Or you've already decided that they're not to be trusted. And I guess, whatever, but I'm definitely feeling like you're missing a divine opportunity here. I definitely feel like you've been burned before, Leo. People don't really consider the fact that you've been through a lot, and you hurt a lot. And even though they don't see it from the outside, they may not realize it, and you know it though. You live with yourself. Sometimes you don't even want to admit it to yourself that you're sensitive as fuck. Leos are sensitive. Lions are sensitive. Right? And I'm definitely seeing here that, people are not really seeing you for who you are, which has been a wound in itself when it comes to the Chiron aspect. But Spirit is saying, like, this is a blessing. This is something you've been praying for. This is something that's going to bring you into clarity and balance you out here and help you heal. Because there's an opportunity for healing, and also there's a reward that'll come in within your intuition here. Leos do struggle with that intuition a little bit, but Spirit is offering you this opportunity for, really it's criticism, but it's not criticism in the negative sense. It's constructive, and Spirit is bringing it to you, but you don't want it. You're sitting here crossing your arms, really sour about the situation. And I suggest, Spirit suggests, the Divine suggests, God suggests that you reevaluate that response. And that's on some real shit right there. Because you guys have a lot to offer, and it's going to get lost in translation if you're not able to really put yourself forth authentically, because you have all of these masks and shells and things and to protect you because of everything you've been through. But you don't need that anymore. You've grown. You're strong. Your skin is fucking thick. You can show up the way you want to show up, and you can actually hear ways that you're wrong without being destroyed. You can hear ways of being wrong without being miscategorized. There's a pain in being misunderstood, right? I forgot what other sign. I think it was Virgo that has been that got that reading, but you know, for you, and honestly, Virgo's right after you, so I wouldn't be surprised that you guys share that same aspect. You know, but you're not. You know, you would be lying to yourself if you keep saying you don't care. You don't care. You do care. You do care. And it doesn't mean that things have to be the same with whoever this person, place, or thing is. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to them, but there is something of a resolution, of a meeting place, of a balance that is gonna help you sort of better yourself here, and that's gonna help set you up. Basically, it's gonna give. I'm hearing Spirit is saying it's gonna give the green light for a blessing to come in, because you're gonna be able to handle it and you're gonna be able to accomplish it. This is the cup, right? You've been able to, and the magician has to deal with all of the elements to be able to bring manifestation to fruition. The magician here, you Leo, have been able to work with the sword. You've been able to work with the pentacle and the wand, right? You have no problems with those. It's the cup, it's the vulnerability, it's the emotion that is the next part of this to help you manifest your desires, to help you bring you into your future here. But you really struggle with the desire to do this, right? Because you honestly, there's a Gemini here. You know, some of you guys are feeling like, you know, you feel happier apart from this situation. You know, yeah, for sure, you don't have to go back to it, but there is something you may not even need to go back to this person, but you need to reflect and be able to own up even to yourself how you've played yourself, from really seeing the truth of where you are, something about yourself that can help you grow, right? The devil's the one laughing here. You know, you may think that you come out winning, but the devil's laughing here because you missed something that the divine was offering you. All right? I don't really feel like there's anything else that I can derive from that. And let's see what postcard from Spirit we get for you, Leo. Dear you, do you feel like you need to do all the work and fix everything for everyone, or you might not have no value? Maybe you think you need to control everything, or else nothing will get done. Be healed, be completed, etc. You may think you need to conform to what others expect of you, or choose a course of action to manipulate an outcome. But we don't think that would be a good choice. How about this? Even if it makes you temporarily uncomfortable, do something different. Set that boundary, delegate responsibility to another, ask for your needs to be met. Vulnerability. And when faced with an impossible situation or sticky enmeshed relationship, repeat this mantra. I didn't cause it. I can't control it, and it's not my job to cure it. Then carry on. Feels good, doesn't it? The best part is everything just seems to work beautifully and honestly in the end. Love you so much. Man, Spirit is really wanting you to see here that, you know, for some of you guys, there's this, for one or some of you, there's a situation where it's like you did your best, you put your best into it, and there was something about you being misconstrued that really triggered you. There's something about you being put in a light that was far from what you felt was the truth that caused you to throw the whole baby out with the bathwater. And there is something for you to learn from this about the way that you showed up in this situation and what baggage you were carrying. And there's something about that that's going to bring you into this humble balance with this confidence that is going to allow you to really hold the blessing that is coming in. And with that being said, God bless you, Leo. If you're interested in a more in-depth reading, that information is in the description, or a really individualized reading based on you. So it's not just an extension reading, it's your reading. So if you're wanting to book a reading, that information is in the description box. And I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.